So many a times when we listen to motivational videos, when we listen to motivational talks from people or anything which is inspirational, it acts as a catalyst to develop your own thinking skills. So today we are here with a very important topic. The topic is nothing but assumptions. Assumptions are toxic delights. I'm sure many of you would have raised your eyebrows thinking why it is called toxic delights. So before we get into the subject, the most important thing what we should all understand is, let us define assumptions. What are assumptions? Assumptions are predefined within self description or analysis or judgment of a situation or an object, which is biased towards ourselves. Now there are reasons why I say that assumptions are always biased within self, because assumptions are what we want it to be. It is not what exactly it is. So that is the reason why the topic has been kept as toxic delights. Because when we assume something, when we handle a situation, or when we hear some inputs from others and we give it our own judgmental decision, assuming is, again, let me repeat what is assuming. Assuming is nothing but fantasizing that this could be the reason that this has happened. Now ask yourself, when you take such decisions, don't you think that before knowing a factual situation, you are consoling your own minds and thoughts by saying what you want it to be to yourself, but on a silent form? So whenever a situation arises externally, we look at a situation and then we go back and then we will be wondering why that particular situation was so and so, or why did that person speak so, and why did that person behave so, and then we come into a conclusion which will be biased towards what it wants to be, but that might not be the reality. Let us give a simple example. We all know that Russia is in war with Ukraine, and we all know that the West is supporting them in terms of supplying weapons, giving them moral support, and this has brought Ukraine to the Ukraine ruler, Zelensky, to assume that everything is going right. But if you look at the reality, in the process, many Ukrainians have died, many Russians have died, the country is powdered, the Black Sea is lost, the Black Sea has been locked and it is in the hands of Russia today, and because of that, food supply to Europe is completely chopped. The eastern belt is almost completely consumed by Russians. Mariupol has helped to create a land bridge between Crimea. So if you look at what we assumed by hearing the inputs and what the reality was, I would rather say we were all in a delusion. On a factual front, what we could understand is that a portion of Ukraine has been cut off from its sovereignty, and it is today in the hands of Russia. So here the relevance of assumption came into play. Ukraine ruler Zelensky was assuming that everything was going right and they are going to win the war, but the reality was much different from what was projected to us. Of course, the media also played a leading role in twisting and turning things, but many outcomes, the reality is coming out now. So all the assumptions what people had in their mind, which they wanted to delight. Of course, we all are humans and we have a lot of sympathy and empathy towards Ukrainians. So we wanted to believe that Ukrainians are safe, but it is ultimately only the rulers who are safe. The people all fled the country. Nearly 16 million people left Ukraine. I know it is a very harsh kind of example which I have quoted, but in order to understand meanings of certain things, it's always better to use examples which can create a faster impact on you as an audience. So now, many of us, we sometimes lose good relation with friends, relatives, with our colleagues, with our superiors, with our gurus, with our philosophers, with our sages, because we assume many things. We just go by what we want it to be. We don't want to look into the reality. We don't want to further continue with the relation to understand more what made a person behave so or what made an object fall into this category. Now this is very toxic, because when you decide to go at the spur of a moment, depending on your assumptions, many times it can be toxic, it can pollute your mind, it can spoil your reasoning, many times it can turn out to be greater losses in life and future. So it's very important that we realize what are factual friends before we jump into conclusions, and when we go at the spur of delights within by taking hold of assumptions to decide and judge something. It is very important to know that assumptions can many times be wrong. That is the reason why I said assumptions are toxic delights. It delights you. When you assume something, oh my God, this I'm 100% sure this has happened because this person was so and so, or this person has behaved so and so. And to add more momentum into it, there are some favorable people which you would invite to give inputs to say that this particular person was this. So when those inputs are in sync with your assumptions, you feel much more delighted. This is what is happening in the world. This is what is happening among your colleagues, your peers, your friends. And in the process, as a part of evolution, we lose many good relations which could have been good relations for a lifetime. Therefore, make it a point to get away from these symptoms by using neutrality as your savior. Now, speaking about neutralization, I think I will again go back to a particular European country. I'm sure when all of you think about Switzerland, the first thing what comes to your mind is the snow-capped mountains, the green lush lawns, the kind of flowers which blooms over there, the climatic support what you get in Switzerland. So everything is like what you want it to be. So that is how it is. But apart from that, you should also understand that Switzerland is one of the richest countries. It is one of the rare nations which always keep neutrality towards any situation. The reason why they keep neutrality towards every situation is because they want to make sure that nobody is hurt because of that country. And what was the result? The country prospered. The country infrastructure is one of the best, and today it's the world's one of the best country to live. Even when it came to Ukraine and Russian war, even though they took some stands against Russia, now slowly they are coming back to, they're taking back many of the sanctions what they have put across to Russia. Why they are compromising again? Because many things in the process they realize through factual sides that those things are not what they assumed it to be. So they corrected the situation before assumptions could fail them also, as just in any other country which goes by biased forms. So wherever you take unbiased decisions, you will understand that people close, near and dear will always be around you. So thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. So this is one of the literary snippets. I thought I will resume the literary snippets on a periodic manner, maybe every week one or maybe monthly thrice. So I will be back again very soon with another literary snippet and another interesting topic to discuss with all of you. Thank you so much. Love you all. Bye.